Hey class, welcome to week 3 of College 105. We are approaching the halfway point of this mini master class, and time is going to fly from here. So let's get into it. For week 3, we are starting to talk about and read about and work on some skills tied to like memory retention, the process of learning. We're talking about reading, note taking, active listening skills. Those are things that you do need to use in your various classroom environments, but then also that absolutely translates into real life as well. We've all been having conversations in my office the past week or two of how to create like to-do lists and take note of things that need to be done and how they need to be done and all that kind of stuff, and how do you make the time to do that. And so this absolutely translates into life outside of the classroom as well. Also, these skills are going to kind of vary depending on the type of classes that you are enrolled in. So this is an online class, so we may really want to pay attention to things like note-taking because you're responsible for taking down that information kind of independently. But then active listening in the classroom is super important if you have in-person classes, because you may be in a situation where you've got lectures and stuff like that, and the note-taking and stuff is still important, but you still have to listen, actively listen first to be able to take the notes from what you're actively listening to. So I hope that you find this material to be helpful this week as you are working through your assignments. Please let me know if you have any questions. Just again, a reminder that you have access to Microsoft 365 for free in your MyCCTC as a student through your student account. And so you'll find that in the little toolbar on the left-hand side. So please make sure that you are, downloading files and, filling them out properly. You can use that even if you have a Mac. You can also save things as PDF files to make sure that your instructors can open them. That is super important. As we are approaching the halfway point, just a heads up and something to think about, that in every class you do have the option to voluntarily withdraw from any of your classes past the add drop point. Maybe something drastic has changed in your life, in your schedule, with your family, work, anything like that. Or if you feel like you are not going to be able to be successful in the class for just any general reason, you do have the option to withdraw from classes. You want to use that option sparingly because there can be penalties, obviously the biggest one being that you're not making progress in your program, but also financial penalties with your financial aid as well. So all that to say, if you ever have any questions about the withdrawal process, you'll usually hear some kind of nudge from your instructors about what withdrawing means and when you can do it. And usually the limit on being able to withdraw from a class is about 60% through the class. You can find the deadline on our course calendar, but since we are approaching that halfway point, I wanted to let you know that if you are concerned about your ability to be successful in this class for some reason, please let me know. And maybe a withdrawal is not the answer. Maybe it just means that there are some questions that need to be answered or a challenge that we can address for you. So other than that, PAR 1, so going into week 4, you will be looking at the A part of that PAR acronym, so advisor. You'll be reaching out to your advisor to discuss your next semester registration. And depending on your circumstances, you may be enrolling for the summer. You may not be registering until the fall. But please do go over that with your advisor. Please don't presume that you don't need to take summer classes. You'll want to talk with your advisor ultimately about what summer registration means for you one way or the other. So in some cases it's required. In some cases it may be optional, just, if you want to, get to your end goal of graduation a little bit quicker. So be prepared to ask those questions. But so my response to that PAR 1 email is going to be your advisor's information. Again, I apologize for the delay. I wanted to send that email out so that nobody was nervous this week about why they weren't getting anything. I'm going to get those knocked out this weekend so that you have them, especially because I do know that some of you like to work ahead. And so if you are finishing, week 3 work and are wanting to get started on week 4 work, I want to make sure that you have those PAR 1 responses so that you can start with PAR 2s if you are inclined to do so by the end of this weekend. Please make sure that you copy me on those PAR 2 responses when you do them so that I know that you did it, because otherwise I don't know that you did it. So just make sure that you're copying me on those emails to your advisor. I will still do a week 4 announcement, but I know, again, a lot of times with those emails, or as soon as you get my response to PAR 1, you may be inclined to go ahead and do PAR 2. So I just wanted to get that information out there. I hope that you're having a good week, and are enjoying your weekend. Hopefully, at least in some way, depending on what your schedule looks like. It's gorgeous outside. I'm sitting outside getting ready to go run some errands, but enjoying the sunshine after the week that we had last week. So I hope that you have a great weekend, and please let me know how I can help you as you are moving forward.